There comes a moment in every life when the light goes out, when the dream you've been holding slips through your fingers, and the silence that follows is deafening. You stare into that emptiness and ask yourself, was all of this for nothing? But it is in that exact moment, when the ground beneath you feels cold and cruel, that something extraordinary begins to form. Because failure, when you face it with courage, is not an ending. It is the birthplace of every transformation humanity has ever known. Think of it, Thomas Edison failed more than 10,000 times before he gave light to the world. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times before he built the machine that reshaped civilization. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. And yet each of these men rose again stronger, wiser, more certain of their vision, because they understood a truth most never will. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the foundation of it. You see, the world teaches you to avoid failure, to play it safe, to fear humiliation. But the greats, the dreamers, the builders, the legends, they learned to make failure their ally. They studied it, embraced it, and allowed it to shape them into something indestructible. When life brings you to your knees, you are closer to your breakthrough than you realize. Because that pain, you feel the sting of loss, rejection, and disappointment. It's not punishment. It's preparation. Life is not testing how strong you are. It's showing you how strong you can become. Every scar tells a story of someone who refused to give up. Every setback hides a seed of wisdom waiting to be discovered. And the person who finds that seed, waters it with belief, and nurtures it with discipline, that person becomes unstoppable. You must understand the world doesn't owe you success. It doesn't hand out greatness like a lottery prize. It demands that you earn it through fire. It asks, how bad do you want this? And then watches to see if you can withstand the storms that come before the sunrise. When you rise again after falling, you rewrite the story of who you are. You declare to the universe that your spirit cannot be broken by circumstance, that no rejection can silence your vision, that your belief in yourself is stronger than any failure thrown your way. That's the secret power hidden in every failure, the power to rebuild not just your dreams, but yourself. Because what most people never see is that every failure carries 2 gifts, a lesson and a mirror. The lesson reveals what you didn't know. The mirror shows who you truly are. When you fail, the masks fall away. The ego disappears. You are left with the raw truth, and in that truth lies the foundation of greatness. Failure is honest. It doesn't flatter you, it doesn't comfort you, but it teaches you what nothing else can. Look at Abraham Lincoln. Before he became one of history's greatest leaders, he lost elections, businesses, and even the love of his life. Yet through it all, he developed something no easy victory could ever give him: depth of character, that quiet, unshakable faith that says, I will rise again. And when you carry that faith, you become dangerous to mediocrity. Because you stop being afraid. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You realize that life rewards those who move forward even when it hurts, even when it's dark, even when no one believes in them. The world is full of people who stopped after their first failure, but history only remembers the few who didn't. So when everything falls apart, when you've given your best and still come up short, don't retreat. Don't hide, don't label yourself defeated. Stand in the ashes and say, this is not how my story ends. Because deep inside you, beyond the fear and the pain, is a force waiting to be awakened, the same force that built empires, invented miracles, and moved mountains. And the moment you decide to rise again, that force moves through you like fire. Failure is not the tombstone of your dream, it's the training ground of your destiny. When you rise after falling, something inside you shifts forever. You stop chasing validation and start chasing mastery. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? That question alone separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Because life does not destroy you with failure, it refines you with it. It burns away your illusions, your laziness, your excuses, until only the truth remains. You are capable of far more than you ever imagined. That's how every great mind was forged. Edison didn't invent the light bulb by avoiding mistakes. He discovered 10,000 ways that didn't work. Ford didn't build the automobile empire because the path was easy. He simply refused to quit when others said his ideas were impossible. Failure was not their enemy, it was their mentor. Every rejection, every setback, every sleepless night whispered lessons to them that no book, no teacher, and no comfort zone could ever provide. But here's what most people never understand. Failure is not a single event. It's a dialogue between you and destiny. Each time you fail, destiny asks you, "Are you sure you want this?" And each time you rise again, you answer, "Yes, more than ever." That conversation is how greatness is born. The mind that has never faced defeat is fragile. It breaks at the first sign of resistance. But the one that has walked through darkness and pain, again and again, becomes unshakable. Because when you've lost it all and still found the courage to move forward, you realize that nothing outside of you has power over you. Not circumstances, not opinions, not fear. Discipline is the bridge between failure and victory. Most people fall and wait for motivation to lift them again, but the masters, they rely on discipline. They get up not because they feel like it, but because their vision demands it. Discipline is the quiet fire that keeps burning when inspiration dies. It is the reason why some rise and others remain fallen, because success is not built on emotion. It's built on consistency, on showing up when no one's watching, on taking one more step when your legs want to give out. If failure is your teacher, then discipline is your training ground. You cannot learn strength without resistance, and you cannot grow character without challenge. When everything is easy, you don't evolve, you stagnate. The storm that tries to destroy you is the same storm that strengthens your roots. Trees that grow in calm weather fall in the first strong wind, but those that have faced storms, thunder, and drought develop roots deep enough to outlast any season. So don't curse the storm, bless it. It's the only thing keeping you from being ordinary. Look back through history. Every person who achieved greatness walked through a valley of defeat. Before they climbed to the top, they were buried under failure, rejection, and ridicule. But instead of giving up, they dug deeper. They discovered something inside themselves that can't be bought or taught. It can only be earned through suffering. It's that inner fire, that invisible power Napoleon Hill spoke of when he said, "Every adversity carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." Most people never find that seed because they stop digging. They stop believing when life hits them hard. But those who persist, they find the gold buried beneath the rubble of their broken attempts. And when you find that seed, your entire perception of failure changes. You stop seeing it as something to avoid and start seeing it as something sacred. Every time you fail, you are being invited to rise to a higher level of yourself, to strengthen your vision, sharpen your focus, and renew your purpose. The pain you feel is not punishment. It's proof that you're being molded for something greater. Clarity is born in chaos. Vision is refined in loss. You can't see who you truly are until life strips away everything false. When you're standing in the ruins of what used to be your comfort, you have two choices: remain broken or rebuild wiser. The people who change the world are the ones who choose to rebuild. Failure will test your patience. It will humble your pride. It will expose every weakness you've been hiding. But that's its purpose, to prepare you for the weight of success. Because success is heavy, it requires character strong enough to carry it. And the only way to build that character is to fail, learn, adjust, and keep moving forward. Every time you rise again, you earn a kind of respect from life itself. You become someone who cannot be easily shaken. You start to move with quiet confidence because you've seen the worst and you're still here. You become the person who doesn't just talk about resilience. You embody it, and make no mistake, resilience isn't about never falling. It's about never staying down. It's about that small voice inside you whispering, "Not yet. I still have more to give." That voice is your power. That voice is your truth. That voice is the reason you rise again, no matter how many times you fall.